Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? Happy Thursday. Is everybody doing okay? I got my coffee here. Y'all see my coffee? I broke my Offer HR Business Solutions cup. The little handle fell off. It fell off or broke off. It fell off the dish pan rack. Yeah. So I either gotta fix it or I gotta find a new one. I've had it for years. It's my favorite cup. But anyway, so I'm improvising. What number cup of coffee are you on? This is my second. So I am dropping in today. For those of you who don't know me, I'm April Halliburton of Offer HR and Business Solutions. Yep, that's me. And I am an expert, small and mid-sized business HR business partner and consultant. And I work with businesses across the country um, with 15 to 150 employees. Been doing it for 13 years. And what I actually do is I empower businesses with proven HR strategies, proven HR leadership, and HR results. And so today I want to talk to you a little bit about what I do, kind of break down the framework that I do for my clients. Okay, so let's jump in. I want you to, if you could ask one question of an HR consultant, just one question, what would it be? Okay, drop it in the comments. Because a common question that I get a lot is, what's one thing I can do that I need to do to get my HR together? Okay, that's the question that I hear a lot. And when you say get your HR HR together, what does that mean? We don't do cookie cutter, right? No cookie cutter HR solutions. And so what's important is that we deal with each client uniquely, their own unique business, their own structure, their own challenges, right? And so it can be 10 companies that are all the exact same company doing the exact same thing, but they all do it differently, right? So people will say things like, maybe I should buy a new payroll system. And then my question is, what's wrong with the one you have? Okay. The initial question, let me back up a little bit, that I ask my clients in our very first meeting is, what is your vision for your company in a year, in 3 years, in 5 years? Because it helps me to know, where do they see themselves, right? We all have a vision for our company, right? So it helps to know that, for me to know their vision, not my vision for them, but what their vision is. Okay. And so, what's great though, is that they've identified that there's a gap between where they are now and that vision. Okay. And so they may say things like, maybe I need to buy a new payroll system. So you say, what's wrong with the one you have? Right. Or, I should download another free handbook, a template. Templates are okay. But when you have a template, it still needs to be reviewed by an HR consultant or your legal team, right? Or I should tell my supervisors to tighten up. That's kind of my favorite. Because what do you mean by tighten up? Right? What does that mean? All right. So none of these are bad things. Again, the good thing is that they've identified that there is a gap, right? And they're looking for a solution. You know what they say? The first problem is admitting there's a problem, right? So the real answer is that you actually need a framework that gets results, okay? And that has to be a strategic HR framework, okay? Framework that will protect your business, it will develop your employees, and will hold your leadership accountable. Okay. Okay. And so HR is a whole system, just like in your finance, just like in your marketing. It's a whole system. And so it's not one form, it's not one hire, it's not just one meeting, it's not even just one policy. So, how do you make sure your HR is working? Okay. And so that's where I'm talking to you about the HR framework that I do for my clients. Okay. So, the three pillars that are a part of that are the three pillars of the framework is that first pillar, which is when we're diagnosing with precision. And that's our HR audit, where we don't guess, we audit. We find out where those gaps are. Okay. The second framework is building the HR foundation that protects the client. Okay. So that's policies, that's onboarding programs, that is discipline systems, that is and expectations that your company's not going to end up on the news. Okay. So, it's no more I thought my supervisor handled that, right? We build a structure. Okay. Because we don't want you to operate on the winging it, because essentially the winging it concept is we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. That's not going to work. Okay. You have to lay the foundation on that bridge. Okay. All right. So the third pillar is creating trusted channels and aligning leadership. Okay. And that's where we put in complaint systems and address culture shifts and make sure that your employees feel safe. So those are three pillars that that are involved in the culture in the framework that I do. Okay. And so then those pillars are broken down into steps that are building your foundation. Okay. So if you're tired of working in a reactive mode and ready to move to ready, you want to move to ready. You want to stop guessing and constantly putting out fires and just operating in react, and go to ready. Comment framework below and let's get on a call. Okay. 30-minute call is all it takes to decide if we're a good fit. All right. If you want to know more about the process, the program, you can go to my website. I'll put the link below. offerhr.co is the website. But I have a webinar coming up. It is $77 on December 3rd. And it is our HR ready, getting your HR ready for 2026. And it is essentially going from reactionary to ready. Okay, let's put the things in place. You'll have a 90-day HR plan to get you started, to get you started. We'll get you through the first 90 days and then you reassess and go forward. You'll get a lot of goodies, little checklists and things that are going to help you get yourself ready for 2026. Okay. The key to a great workplace is getting your workplace culture the way you want it is preparation, planning, and implementation. All right. So comment framework below and we'll get the link. Also, if you want to sign up for our webinar, that link will be below as well. Okay. Business can be like a circus. So don't let HR be the elephant in the room. I'll check you out later. Have a great one.